my pleasure now to introduce Dave Ginsburg. Dave is our guru for iOS, and he has a very intriguing topic for today. Dave is our president. He has over 17 years' experience as an IT professional with a major insurance company. Dave is also very knowledgeable about PCs and mobile devices for his profession. Dave came to the Apple world just in 2006, and since the iPhone and iPad joined the Apple family, he has become a subject matter expert on all iOS devices and participates in several podcasts. We're fortunate to get his updates on the very latest in iOS. He has a separate weeknight meeting every other month. So if he doesn't address iOS here, it will be during the Tuesday iOS next month. And he's always available for you to answer questions. So today, Dave is going to tell us about Siri on iOS and some other iPhone things we should know. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Well, good morning. Everybody can hear me okay? Glad everybody's here. Yes, so my topic today I'm going to talk about, let me get on the screen here. Is Siri. Let me bring it up on the screen here and we'll get started. All right. So who here doesn't use Siri? There's a couple of you don't use Siri. What? Oh, I didn't get this. Thank you. Why don't you use Siri? You feel like you're talking to yourself. Okay. And who else said they don't use Siri? Anybody else? Okay. Well, I think Siri's has some exciting things that it does. I know it's kind of strange. I think everybody else here, I'm assuming, does use Siri one way or the other. I find that it does seem to work really well, being able to get things that you're trying to accomplish when you speak into it. First off, I wanted to talk about how you enable Siri. So let's get into the bare basics of what you do as far as getting that going. So if you go into settings and if you go into Siri right here, this is where it actually is turned on or off. So I have it on, and this also gives an option where you can access Siri when your phone is locked, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And then down here is got some other settings as far as relation to the language, what voice you want. Everybody likes to play around with the voice, if they want a female or if they want a male voice, as well as the type of voice could be Australian or different like that. I'll go through that in just a minute. But one of the features I kind of like is Hey Siri. And what Hey Siri is, I probably shouldn't have said that because your phones might go off if you already have it turned on. But I wanted to show you how you actually enable Hey Siri. Right now I have it off, but what I want to do is I want to turn it on. My watch my watch is buzzing at me, so it's picking up what I just said. So what I want to do is I want to turn on Hey Siri. So I turn it on, and this screen comes up and tells you how to set it up. So we're actually going to go through and set it up. I turned it off purposely so you could see how we can go through it. So I'm going to tap Continue. Hey Siri. Hey Siri again. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, how's the weather today? Hey Siri, it's me. All right, Hey Siri's ready to go. And it just started. I said my iPad and iPhone are no crazy here if I keep saying that. So one thing to bear in mind with the way Hey Siri is working is it works with the iPhone 6s and higher wireless. So it will work no matter what. If you have a phone below that model, it has to be plugged in. It has to be plugged in with a lightning connector because it only works off power when you use that. So it's important to know that's what you have to do as far as that goes.
Dave, if I could interject.
Yes, please.
That only is the case if you are trying to use Hey Siri rather than just Siri, correct?
Correct. Yes, Siri works across the board on all the devices, iPhone 5 and higher. It's just Hey Siri is not going to work unless it's plugged in on any phone below the iPhone 6S. So, okay. So let's kind of dig in a little bit about as far as all the languages and all the settings you can do in Siri. Right here is the language, and this is all the different languages you can change it to. And there's quite a bit. Even as Turkish, it has French, it has Italian. You can change the different types of English if you want, Canadian, New Zealand, United Kingdom. So it puts those accents in there. So whenever you go through that, it gives you that option as well. We'll stick with United States. And the Siri voice, you can change it to American, Australian, British, and then you have different genders. It could be male or female. We'll stick with female, and I'll stick with American when it comes to that. And that's basically what's going to be the setting as far as that goes. So let's kind of dig in a little bit as far as functionality with Siri. So I'm going to say, "Hey Siri, call me the iPhone guru."
From now on, I'll call you the iPhone guru, okay?
Yes. Oh, not Puru. Oh, jeez. See how it's not accurate?
iPhone guru. I like that.
She likes it too. So let's change that. I'm trying to put the mic here so you can hear it. "Hey Siri, call me the iPhone guru." Doesn't like it. Let's try it again.
What's that again?
"Call me the iPhone guru."
You would like me to call you the iPhone guru?
Yes. Kind of slow.
The iPhone guru. That's a nice name.
So you can do that if you have any nickname that you want to call yourself. You can do that. I mean, believe me, I'm going to change that back to my name in a minute here. But I just wanted to show as a demonstration what it can do. All right. So let's go back into the menu. Sorry for getting an echo here. Now, one of the settings in here is access when locked. Now, that brings up kind of a concern as far as security goes. When you have Siri set up when it's on, you can access it as locked. Anybody can say anything to your phone and say, "Hey Siri, what's my address? Hey Siri, where am I?" It can access it. So there is some bit of a security issue when it relates to that. So it's your personal preference on how to turn this on or off, but it's important to know that this is something that can be a security issue. I mean, when you have your phone with you at all times, it's never an issue, but you worry if the phone is lost, anybody could find out any information and access Siri in the lock screen. And I'll show you as far as I'll demonstrate it. So right now I'm in the lock screen. I can say, "Hey Siri." See how it works? So the way to turn that off, I got my iPad going out here. The way to turn that off is you basically have to do is just tick this off right there. You just check that. So now the access screen is now no longer accessible. There's also another place you can go to access this. This is in the Touch ID. So if you go back into settings here, under Touch ID and passcode, nobody watch. It's also in here. If you scroll down here, see how it's turned off right now? It's where it says Siri, allow access when locked. This is also good. This is also a good tip of other things that are in here if you don't want accessibility of features when the phone is locked. So you could turn off today's view, notification, all this stuff can be turned off if you want to. So I like it on, so I'm going to turn it back on. Any questions about that? So let's say I want to send a message to somebody. I always pick on Roger. I'm going to pick on Roger today. Send message to Roger Matthews. If I have to say that, of course it didn't work because you have to say, "Hey Siri."
Yeah.
"Hey Siri, send message to Roger Matthews."
What do you want to say to Roger Matthews?
"What do you think about this session today?" Question mark.
Your messages. What do you think about this session today? Ready to send it?
No.
Okay, I won't send it just yet. Let me know when you're ready to continue.
add to message.
Okay, go ahead.
And really tell me what it's all about, question mark.
I updated your message.
So see what it did? It actually, no.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
So see what it did? It actually added more messages, added another message to it if you forgot about it. That's what's called, what Siri does is it can interrupt. What a lot of times is you can stop Siri interrupting you too. And it's going crazy here, sorry. So the way to do what's called the stop Siri from interrupting you is you have to hold the home button down as you're enabling Siri. Siri, send a message to Roger Matthews. And I let go.
What do you want to say to Roger Matthews?
This is a very cool session, question mark.
Ready to send it?
No.
Okay, I won't send it just yet.
So what you can do is you can either do it that way or you can hold the home button down when you're doing Siri and you keep holding it as you speak so it doesn't interrupt you because there's a lot of interruptions when it actually goes through the messages. It isn't a bad idea to do that as far as if you want to do text messages. I think it's a great feature in itself. I mean, Siri is pretty accurate when you're sending out messages, so it's something that's pretty cool when it comes to doing messages. Okay. Now, here's another example of a potential issue. If you sometimes you may be using Siri, but you don't want Siri to read back to you. But you have that sometimes it's kind of annoying because you have to be quiet, especially if you're in a room and you're talking and you want it to not being feed back at you. So what this is called tailoring. You would tailor what's called voice feedback. So if you go back into settings and under Siri, here is voice feedback. So there's a couple settings you can change on voice feedback. Right now, all of you, I'm going to guess that always on is the thing that's turned on. There's also 2 other ways of controlling it. You can control it by the ring switch or hands-free only. So what I would do is I do it on the control ring switch. Then what I can do is I can turn off the voice feedback with the switch. So then when you talk into Siri, it's not going to talk back at you. You might be in an area where you want any noise or anything like that, so you'd rather it not feed back at you. So you have this option to control that.
Hey, Dave,
Yes.
when you say ring switch, are you talking about the power button, the home button?
The ring
What?
switch, that little switch here that mutes your ringer.
I've never used that.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Well, it's there. The physical ring switch.
That only stops the phone from ringing. It doesn't stop noises from text messages or...
This setting will also allow that switch to control voice feedback. It turns off the ringer too, but. Any other questions? Another cool feature with Siri is called Who's Who. You can actually tell somebody in your context that you have somebody that's related to you, whether it be your boss or your mom or your grandma. What I want to do is I put a funny name in here. You'll laugh in a second here. That I wanted to go through and actually show you what Siri does when you tell them they're this person. One sec here. Siri, make Homer Simpson my brother.
Okay, do you want me to remember that Homer Simpson is your brother?
Yes.
Got it. Homer Simpson is your brother.
So what it did was I had that contact already in there, so I told it to make it my brother. So now what I can do is send a message to my brother.
What do you want to say to Homer Simpson?
There you go. So it knew that Homer Simpson is my brother.
I'm not sure.
So you're able to customize that any way you'd like. So here's another one I've already got set up. Send a message to my boss.
These are the phone numbers and email addresses for contacts named Steve Marshall. Which one should I use?
Mobile.
What do you want to say to Steve Marshall?
So as you see, I had set up a program for my boss. I also have a program for my mother, and for my father, and my sister, and any other sibling. And you can, and it's also reading everything I say too. You can. That's what's hard about doing demonstration. Siri, it always does that stuff.
Dave,
Yes.
is there any, I'm a visual guy, not so much an auditory guy. Is there some place somewhere that you can access and see who you've got set up as those, or is it just, you just
question.
totally?
Let me get back to you on that. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
But remind me, and we'll look that up. So that's another cool feature of Siri, allowing you to set up who's who. Other problems that are with Siri, pronouncing names. If anybody hears how it pronounces names, it sometimes doesn't pronounce it properly. Well, there's a way to actually teach Siri how to pronounce an unusual name. So I've got one program in here. Send a message to David Weiss.
Sorry, the iPhone guru. I didn't find any phone numbers or email addresses for David Vase. To whom should I send your message?
That's not how to pronounce David Weiss.
Okay, how do you pronounce the name?
David?
Okay, thank you. Which pronunciation should I use?
As you see, what it did is it went through the first name, so it actually is giving me some options. So let's play them. Oh, it's hard to hear that. Let me turn the mic back on here. Here's option 1.
David.
That sounds okay.
David.
Danid.
Danon. David.
Oh, that sounds good.
David. David.
Either one of those, I guess. So then what I do is I click select.
Okay, how do you pronounce the name?
Weiss.
Okay, thank you. Which pronunciation should I use? Vice.
Sounds good. I won't even check the other one. So I click
Got
select.
it. The iPhone guru, David Weiss. It is.
So it uses my nickname because I set that up. So try that out, because a lot of times what's great about it is sometimes it pronounces it incorrectly and may not recognize it when you talk. It's not a bad idea to go through those steps and do that. Anybody know? Did anybody wasn't aware of that it could do that? Pretty cool, huh? Questions?
Dave, does that also apply to maps and things like that, that you can change pronunciations?
Not apps, but it usually picks up apps pretty well.
No, maps.
Oh, maps, excuse me. So are you saying when you give a direction on a map, does it,
Yes.
okay. I have not seen it be able to change that. This is more for pronunciations of names, but not for maps, no. I have not seen it.
Well, this is, say like Algonquin. It doesn't do too well with that. And I was
Okay.
wondering if you could actually change it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it's not something that's stored. It's in the maps. It's in the maps program. All right. Good question though. All right. There's another thing that you actually can do is, and this actually hits on Ed's question earlier. He's a visual learner. That you sometimes when you say something, it may not actually say it correctly, and you can go in and actually edit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a note, and we'll see what it does here. Create a note. This is the time we want to have some fun learning about Siri and the iPhone.
Creating your note. Here's your note.
So now you can see it shows the note, and you can confirm it, or you can actually tap it, and you can go in here and actually edit it too. You actually also can edit it in Siri. I just kind of zipped away here. But you actually can go through and edit and make some changes. If it doesn't pick up anything that's incorrect, it allows you to go back and edit your query before you complete what you're trying to create. So that has that option too. Let's see. So what I want to do is I'm gonna kind of simulate. I'm gonna do a text here. I want to show you what it can do as far as texting with Siri and how it works in relation to that. So I'm gonna send myself a text message. I have another phone here that I'm doing this. Hopefully it works. There it goes. So there's a message there. Siri, hey Siri, Read my text message.
To whom should I send your
Hey Siri, read my text message.
You have a message from Homer Simpson. Hi there. Would you like to reply?
Yes,
Go ahead.
this is cool.
Your reply says, "This is cool. Ready to send it?"
No, I won't send it. So as you can see, you've got a lot of hands-free options with texting, and that's, although you shouldn't be doing this while you're driving. Let's stress that, because a lot of people like to do that. I think most people are not using a voice command. They're down at their phone. They shouldn't be doing that. So public service messages, don't text while driving. But this is a great new feature. This is a great feature that allows you to actually text just by using a voice. So that is a really cool feature when it comes to texting. Now, you also can make phone calls. So what you can do is you actually make a phone call, and you actually can make a phone call for a business. Maybe you don't have it in your contacts. So let's say call Taco Bell. And what it's supposed to do is it actually goes out, searches for the nearest Taco Bell,
15 restaurants named
and you pick the one that you want to call. As in this example, this is a restaurant, and I can just tap that,
calling Taco Bell.
and it calls it, which I better hang up, so I don't want to call them. But yes,
I always run into a problem when the first choice isn't my choice, how to get back into that list. Do you have any tips with that, with
all right,
regard
let's
to
go back
that?
to that. Call Taco Bell. As always, when you're demonstrating, it always is slow. Let's try it again. Call Taco Bell.
He went to sleep.
I was holding the home button this time. And now I'm getting a lag here too. All right. Network in trouble. There we go. Call Taco Bell.
I found 15 restaurants named Taco Bell.
Okay, so to answer your question, you really are at the mercy of where it goes out to the internet and searches for the different locations. So in this case, as you see on the screen, you would have to scroll through and pick the right one that's of your choice. What were you having issues with?
When it asks, would you like me to call that, and when I say no,
My screen clears, the list just goes away.
I've not seen that. Yeah, what would you want? Yeah, exactly.
I'd
It'll
like
go away
another
when
choice.
It goes away when he says no, that's why.
Well, if I don't want to call the first Taco Bell, should I say yes anyway?
No, you then just tap the one you do want. You don't need to respond at all.
Okay.
Sorry, I wish I was easier, but unfortunately that is true. Any questions about that? And it's pretty cool, and it does the same thing when you. So if I want to call, I can do call Homer Simpson. So you can call somebody, and it goes right to it. And you have that option too. That makes it a lot easier, especially if you're, again, you shouldn't be calling while you're driving either, but most of us have hands-free in our cars that you wouldn't have to utilize this. But this kind of incorporates to what Apple is doing with CarPlay. A lot of cars now are getting the interface CarPlay, which is basically what you see on your phone in your car. And it's going to give you that option is be able to work with Siri when it comes to that. Yep.
Just another reminder, if you've set up those family relationships, you can say, call my brother or call my mom.
Right.
You don't have to have the specific name.
Don't have to think of a name when you do it. Yep. Thank you. You also can do FaceTime calls. I'm going to pick on you again, Roger, okay? Call Roger. Oh, hang on. That's wrong. Use FaceTime. Call Roger Matthews. Well, I won't let it go through, but well, maybe we'll do. We'll have fun if it works. Siri's been kind of slow here this morning, and I'm noticing.
Making a FaceTime
There we
call to Roger Matthews.
So we're going to call Roger, and we'll just kind of, you can see what it does. I can go like this. So let you answer. There we go. We think. Could be the network. Well, you get the gist of it. It's okay. So using voice commands to make FaceTime calls. Now here's another tip as far as using Siri with making calls. Hey Siri, call Roger Matthews on speaker.
Calling Roger Matthews on speaker.
So you can tell it to go right to the speakerphone. I'll hang up so you won't go. And it's already on the speakerphone. Again, hands-free, so you don't have to be, again, another public announcement, don't do things while you're driving, but you can do this and without having to even touch the phone. So that's a pretty good tip as far as relation to the phone. So any questions so far? Yes.
Sorry, I got here late, so how do you access Siri? I don't find it in my settings.
Well, if you hold the home button down, does it come up like this? Doesn't. Okay. We were just in there at the beginning here. I'll show you again. So you go into settings, and then are you on iOS 10?
Yes.
Okay. If you're looking on my screen here, there should be under settings. There should be a Siri selection here.
There isn't.
There. See Siri up at the top there? And then tap Siri, and you have to turn it on. Under settings, Siri.
Is it under sounds?
Nope.
No, you see, it's
Settings.
look down.
Yeah, but it's not in my phone.
No, it isn't.
Which phone do you have?
6.
Okay, it should be there. Let me take a look.
It's not. It really isn't.
Really?
It's missing.
Then it's probably not running iOS 10 then. So we can search the settings.
I was trying to do some of that, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, I'll have to check this after we're done here. I'm not sure why Siri's not there. I'll have to check that.
I'm going to take a look.
Maybe she's on vacation.
Yeah.
Try resetting your phone and see if that helps.
Yeah, if you hold the power button down and the home button down at the same time, that will do a full hard reset. Yeah, Greg, you might have answer that.
I believe when you go through an iPhone setup, I think one of the things it asks you is if you want to use Siri. I don't know if
Right.
maybe
It
that's a
does,
factor.
But the problem is it's not. It still should be in the settings. That's what's kind of strange.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's under settings, then general, then Siri.
That's on iOS 9.
You're right.
Yeah. You still on iOS 9? Shame on you.
I have a buggy out in the parking.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Who likes to use reminders? Well, I tell you, Siri does a great job of doing that for you. So we're going to do a couple reminders here for you. Remind me to buy some bread later today.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Remind me to buy some avocados.
Okay, I'll remind you.
So as you see, it actually goes through and actually adds these reminders for you. And then if you go into your reminder screen, show my reminders.
Here are your reminders.
And you see what it does? As soon as you bring them up, it had some buy my bread and some of the other things I had in my other reminders in the past. So very easy to be able to add and run through and work with those. And it's good. It's a good way of adding your reminders on the fly, so you don't have to type all those things type all those in all the time.
Dave, one way I've used that, which I think is really effective, let's say you're in a car and you think of something you need to do when you get home. You could say, Siri, remind me when I get home to do such and such.
Correct.
And since it knows where you live because you've told it, it will do that when you get home.
Exactly. And I was going to do that. Oh, sorry. No, but thank you. I wanted to see if anybody was listening, right? So that's why I had to do that.
It says remind me, and then
Remind me to buy some eggs when I get home.
Are you going to buy them from your wife?
I am. weird.
Can you remind your?
And you know why this is popping up on my screen is because it's picking up the reminders on my Mac. And it apparently wasn't allowing it, so if you're wondering why that popped up.
Hey, Dave.
So obviously you see how it works. It's all syncing within the Apple ecosystem. You got your Mac, your iPad, your iPhone, your watch. Everything is going to be all in one place.
Hey, Dave. Can you ask Siri to remind you to do something when you get to a specific location without even like, if I get to the store or wherever else?
I don't. Go ahead.
Because of GPS.
Yeah, I've done that. Like, I think it knows my work address, so I can tell it, remind me to do this when I get to work.
Because one of the other cool features of using wireless, if you've got your phone synced with your hands-free in your car, you bring your phone in and you get in your car, you start your car and it says, you have 20 minutes, it'll take you 20 minutes to get home, or it'll take you 20 minutes to get to work because you have your work address stored. And it knows that's your work address. So it tells you, based on traffic, how long it's going to take you to get home or to go to work. So kind of hit on that specifically that you were talking about. Siri does a great job of being able to tailor things that you want to do. Turn on low power mode.
Okay, I turned on low power mode.
So now what I've done is low power mode, is not everybody's not familiar with that, is when the phone gets to 20% left battery life, it puts it in what's called a low power mode, so it saves the battery so you can continue to use it, and some of the features aren't working during that time period. So I was able to turn that on just by telling Siri, turn off low power mode.
Okay, I turned off low power mode.
You also could tell it to open up your privacy settings. Open privacy settings. So now I'm in the privacy settings. You know how hard it is to remember where to go to get to the privacy settings? So it actually came up right onto the list here. So now I can go through and just like we normally do to adjust the privacy settings accordingly. So it does give you that option as far as that goes. Alarms. Anybody use a Siri to set an alarm? Okay, let's try it. Set alarm for 6:45 a.m. So that's a one-time alarm. Once it goes off, you turn it off, it's done. But let's say you want to do it for weekdays. Set alarm for 7 a.m. weekdays.
Your alarm's set for 7 a.m. starting Monday.
Now let's say you want to set it for weekends. Set alarm for 10 a.m. on weekends.
Your alarm's set for 10 a.m.
I didn't hear me. Set alarm for 10 a.m. weekends.
Okay, I turn it on.
It's not picking me up. Let's try it again. Set alarm for 10 a.m. weekends.
Okay, I turn it on.
That maybe doesn't allow you to do that. Yeah. Oh, that's right, because today's Saturday. Duh. Thank you. So you get the gist of that. Here's another kind of cool feature of Siri. Anybody goes and eats dinner with a bunch of friends, and it always is a challenge to split the bill, right? So what you can do is you actually can ask Siri how to split the bill.
Separate check, Siri.
Split the bill for $250 at 20%.
How many people are splitting the bill?
7.
Set the alarm for when today.
See, Siri gets confused. Split the bill for $250 at 20%. Oh,
How many people are splitting
sorry.
the bill?
10.
The total is $246.
That's a big bill there. So as you see, it gives you a number of people, and it breaks it down. Gives you the tip, what the tip is per person, and the total bill. You can do that on the fly. Kind of cool.
Just a comment.
Yes,
I
please.
think Siri is having problems because of the echo, and
Probably.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of interference in what it's hearing. And
It's fine.
so for those who haven't used Siri in a quieter environment, it's much more responsive, I think.
Yep. So actually, you can do it for whenever you want to get some measurements. So if you want to say, What is 300 kilometers in miles?
That would be 186.41 miles.
So you can do measurements like that, which is pretty cool. So. Good question. Let's try it.
What was the question?
Oh yeah, you didn't have your mic on. The question was, is there can you do a translation? I don't think, let's try it. Say hello in French.
Okay, give me a moment.
It goes out to the web and gives you the actual translation. So it's not unlike with Google Translate where you can speak into it and it does it for you. So it does not do that. So let's see. The remaining time I have left, I wanted to kind of run through some fun things that Siri can do. A couple anyway. So here's one of the kind of the funny ones. And do I look fat in this?
I'm guessing pretty good for a human.
What is your best pickup line?
Mud flaps, enclosed cab, rear cargo area.
Pickup truck.
What is the time?
It's 9:37 a.m. Good morning.
So each time the time comes up, it actually gives you kind of a fun thing. So you woke me up. I did it early this morning at 6:45. Says you woke me up. So it does throw those kind of things in there. Did you know you can flip a coin and roll dice with Siri? Roll dice.
Rolling. It's 4 and 5.
Flip a coin.
Tails.
Flip a coin.
Heads.
See? 50-50. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you.
And for you Star Wars fans out there, Siri, I am your father.
Excuse me while I jump from the maintenance catwalk into the air shaft, and then get sucked into the gas shaft, and then cling to a weather vane on the underside of Cloud City, metaphorically.
Where is Elvis Presley?
He's watching The Detectives. Oh, but maybe you meant the other Elvis.
And always the fun one we did earlier with Ed. What is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
So they've added a lot of Easter eggs and fun stuff. I mean, obviously you're not going to ask that stuff for all the time, but
I wonder if Apple has a bunch of Saturday Night Live comedy writers doing this stuff.
yeah. So they've gotten very creative with some of this stuff to make it fun too. All right, with the remaining time I have left, I've talked about this setting before. Has everybody here enabled the magnifying glass on the iPhone? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Good. So then I will talk about it again. For some reason, Apple decides to put this great feature in the accessibility area, which I think this actually should be a standard feature and it should be enabled. What the iPhone can do is it can become a magnifying glass. Whenever you're trying to read something, you're always like, you got to pull your glasses out, you got to put, you carry a magnifying glass, but you don't have to anymore because the iPhone actually has it. So where you go in there is you go into General. I'm in Settings and then General. Turn off this mic so it's not feedback. And then you go into Accessibility. If you see in the Vision, there's Magnifier. You turn that on. Mine's already on. So make sure everybody else turn theirs on. And the way you get to the magnifier is, once that's turned on, is you triple tap the home button. So 1, 2, 3. See that pop up? So now look what the magnifier can do.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a magnifying glass. So now I can tap the home button here and freeze it. Then you have a temporary capture of a magnified location.
That's worth my whole membership.
And then plus you can zoom on it just like you could do with any other screen. So if you want to go even closer of this image, you can. Now, granted, yes, you could take a picture and do that too. But the magnifier goes even further down to the very close edge. It also allows you to zoom on the fly. So if I wanted to zoom while I'm taking it, before I take it, as freeze it I can. It also has a light, so it turns the flash on. The light gives you the option to be able to see things even in the dark and magnify it. Pretty cool, huh? So for some reason they think that's, I mean, I understand it's vision because some people have challenges of being able to see something. But I hope in the next release, or at least the release of the OS, that they would add that in there, so. All right, I feel like I repeat myself with this tip, so I'm glad a lot of people didn't know about it, so.
Dave, I have one
Yes, I'm opening up to questions, so go ahead.
I'm sorry, one thought about Siri that I wanted to kind of bring up. One of the things that Siri always works with Wi-Fi very well.
Yes.
Because it goes out to the web, we'll call it, and comes back. But when it comes to working off the cellular signal, if you only have 1 or 2 bars, sometimes it's not going to work as well.
I agree.
But there's a third part to that. I think that's third. Maybe it's a second. I don't know. In any case, if you're in a rural area, you don't get necessarily the kind of signal we get here. So you might get edge or something like that.
Right.
Siri will not work with that.
I agree. Yeah, it's
something to be aware of.
It's very network dependent. I agree with that. So that's why it's a voice activated assistant. So you have to truly depend on that. So you hope that you get near a Wi-Fi area, you get on a Wi-Fi, because if you're in a rural area, most Wi-Fi is pretty prevalent in even the rural areas right now at this point. So, all right, I'm opening up to general questions on iOS. Go ahead, Roger.
One of the things we're asked to
Your mic's not on.
One of the things we were asked to do all the time, and we're asked to today, is turn off our ringer on our phones. Can you get Siri to do that, shut it off, and then turn it back
Let's try
on?
it.
Maybe it goes into airport mode, but
Turn ringer off.
I don't understand.
Doesn't know.
airport mode, maybe.
You can do airport mode. Yes. Turn on airplane mode.
I may stop working if you turn airplane mode on.
So it warns you. No. So yes, that you could do, but the ringers, unfortunately, no, you cannot. General iOS questions. Doesn't have to be Siri. Yes.
I have difficulties engaging mapping, or like yesterday I was wanting to get to the Pickwick Theater.
Oh yeah, I work right near there.
Yeah. And I have a difficult time getting voice and map to work.
Okay. So when you say directions to the Pickwick Theater, what happens?
Nothing.
All right, let's try it on mine, and we can then try it on yours. Directions to Pickwick Theater.
Getting directions to Pickwick.
That should be Tui and Northwest Highway and Park Ridge. It's still thinking.
If you're in maps already.
So when you're as you see it. So as you see it, with Siri, it actually did it right away and brought you into Maps. So you're talking about actually being in Maps and you search it. Do you type search?
Well, I was expecting that I'd be able to engage Siri and say.
Oh, you got to turn your mic on. Sorry. Could you turn your mic on, please?
I was expecting to be able to be in Maps and engage Siri by saying, and I know Siri's listening because I can see it. Give me directions to Pickwick Theater, and I just don't get anything to happen.
Yeah, as you saw what I just did, I held the home button down and talked into Siri, and then it went right to Maps. I can tell it to open Maps too.
Oh, that might be it, holding the button down.
Yes, you got to hold the button down when you do Siri.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Last question.
Once this is just a comment to his thing. Once he was in Maps, he could just hit the microphone and speak in where he wanted to go.
Okay.
It's not Siri, but as opposed to typing it in.
Right. You can use the dictation. So I hope everybody enjoyed the session. Next month, we're going to be doing the iPhone SIG. That's in March. And we do all this same kind of stuff. We get 2 full hours of fun discussion about iPhone, iOS, iPad. And thank you for your time today.